Check the sign. Okay. I got less than 1 minute left in the waiting room. So, here we go. Logging in a second late. This is a whole like battle plans military operation we got going here. You've seen this happen before in the mini tours. Various friends are deputized. I'm getting one night. Another friend's getting a different night. Third friend's getting the third night. Hey, Karen. Hey, Katie. Hey, Mona. Okay, 40 people ahead of me in the queue. 10 people ahead of me in the queue. How long are those 40 people taking? Come on. How long are those 10 people? The first 30 went through right away. I'm in the queue. Hey, Betsy, Liz, Timothy, Mary Rose, Susan. Hey, Sarah and Georgia. Hey, everybody. Here we go, here we go. Load you, load. I agree. Getting. Getting is my business and the getting is good. Looks like we're doing well here. As long as this page will load, which is taking its time on. Another person to beat me to these tickets. No. U.S. mail. Okay, processing my order. Tell the bank that yes. Thank you, Fraud Center. It's actually going to mail me my tickets? Like this is the 60s or something? All right. All right, row V for day 3. Oh, day 2. Mike's still working. All right, everybody, welcome along. Welcome along to Mysterious Chicago. Thank you for indulging me there. We can turn the Benny off now. I handled my end of the operation, got us row O, not absolutely the best, but we're all right. That's all right. We didn't have any giant markups or anything, as far as I can tell. All right, we'll settle up everything later. So, welcome along, everybody. I'm Adam from Mysterious Chicago Tours, author of the new 10th anniversary edition of The Ghosts of Chicago, which I had left up here. Not to mention Graceland Cemetery, Chicago Stories, Symbols, and Secrets, the old version of Ghosts of Chicago, and H.H. Holmes' The True History of the White City Devil. Still working on finding out about day number 1. But yeah, I'm sure that we'll get tickets. It's just a matter of how good the tickets are. But we got tickets for nights 2 and nights 3 all set to go. This will be Dylan concerts 55, 56, and 57 for me. So thanks a lot for joining me, everybody. I'm Adam for Mysterious Chicago. So, once again, it is blazing hot outside. Yesterday I blew out a fuse and we had to go most of the day without air conditioning in the living room. It was not the best day yesterday. So, once again, everybody, today we're working from home. I'm going to show you an old video that's really cool about some really cool stuff that is actually included in the Ghosts of Chicago book, new edition. So, I'm glad that people have already gotten their copies of this. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. But all right, everybody. So what we're going to do is working from home. I'm going to show you another old video today. And also, I just got to tell you, I've been like a 2-day rabbit hole. It'll be next week's Patreon topic. I really want to tell the story right now, but we're going to have to wait because it's right at Oakwood Cemetery. It's a story I found just because I needed a story to tell in one stretch of road, but starting to look up the graves, found one heck of a story. Twists and turns like you wouldn't believe. We'll have to just kind of tease you on that one for right now. So everybody here, once again, about 7 years ago, I did a book called Just Kill Me, which is a novel about a ghost tour guide who makes places more haunted by killing people at them. One of the locations that they use is the H.H. Holmes body dump, where he supposedly had a glass-bending factory up near Damon, Elston, and Fullerton, which in those days before they redid that intersection was terrifying enough as it was. It was one of the worst intersections in the entire city. So, welcome along, everybody. Here is the behind the book video that Simon & Schuster had me make. Yeah, definitely a writer. For the H.H. Holmes body dump. Hey, I'm Adam Seltzer, author of a new book called Just Kill Me. It's all about a ghost tour guide who makes places more haunted by killing people at them. It's full of real historical mysteries, and this is Behind the Book. So, one of the places Megan takes people in the book is an old ghost tour stop in Chicago called the Body Dump. It's a place where a guy named H.H. Holmes had what he said was a glass-bending factory in the 1890s. Holmes is the subject of a very popular book called Devil in the White City. He's often advertised as America's first serial killer. According to legend, he had a building on the south side that he said was a hotel, but was full of booby traps and secret passages and trap doors to kill people who came to Chicago for the World's Fair in 1893. The building is now known as the Murder Castle. Now, researching Holmes has been nearly a full-time job for me over the last 10 years. I'll have a book out on him next year. Most of the research done on him to date has really not been very good. Almost everything written about the guy is based on 2 or 3 bad sources. There's some great material in the legal archive since the guy got sued a lot, but most of the best data on him comes from 1890s newspapers. The trick is you need to get the right papers, the ones that really had a reporter on the ground. For the Chicago investigations of him, you need the Chicago papers, some of which are only available on microfilm. And he was imprisoned and put on trial in Philadelphia, so interviews with him and quotes from his lawyers came up more in papers from there and in New York. Some of those papers are available online, but for others I had to go clear to the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. Now the main library there is the most gorgeous building in town, but they don't keep the old newspapers there. They're over in the Madison building, which is like a 1970s high school, only without so much as an anti-drug poster to cheer things up. But it's full of gems in there. You just have to figure out which paper was doing serious reporting and which ones were just contributing to the mythology. What I found is that most of the Murder Castle stories really were just mythology, invented by tabloids, pulps, and an incompetent new police chief. Holmes probably didn't kill anywhere near as many people as people like to say he did these days. Even some of the people he confessed to killing were still alive. But he did probably kill about a dozen, which is plenty. And up on the north side, across town from his castle building, he had some connection to a glass-bending factory. By the time newspapers discovered it, the Chicago police were fed up with the Holmes case, so we really don't know what was going on there. But it was full of his paperwork and the wreck of a 150-foot-long furnace.
There's a pretty short list of things a known multi-murderer would want a 150-foot-long furnace for. Papers at the time thought maybe he used it for cremations, and maybe he did. There are even a couple of known victims who are more likely to have been killed there than at the castle building. A company I was with at the time triangulated the location of that factory about 10 years ago and found that all that's there now is a dead-end street with a vacant lot and a couple of really creepy old trees. But it was right on our tour route at the time, so we started adding it to tours just as a historical curiosity. And sure enough, people started saying that they saw a ghost there. Now, I'm very skeptical of that sort of thing, but we did get some spooky pictures and had some really eerie times there, too, so writing it into the book was a no-brainer, really. But it looks like its days as a tour stop are gone. The space is now being turned into condos, the creepy trees are gone, and the vacant lot is being dug up. But I got a call from an urban archaeologist named Eric Nordstrom who had been on my tour and invited me to check out the excavation. Would we find any dead bodies? Here are some clips.
I'm talking about a city under a city, because like I said, 489, they would literally dump everything back into the ground. And I have extracted several actual building artifacts from the building that once stood there. And that's how I've been able to identify certain buildings that were on the site based upon what's in the ground. Because like I said, it wasn't until long after that they started actually trucking us off to the landfill.
Yeah.
All the demo guys would just literally push it into the ground. And that's why you're seeing all this debris here, all the brick. I mean, some of this stuff obviously is newer. This is like concrete from probably flooring of maybe the factory that was here.
Yeah.
But clearly some of these older bricks.
Right.
And then like, for example, this stuff, like any kind of lithographed pottery, right? So this was probably part of, it could have been a teacup, it could have been a plate. This is 1880s, the gold leaf, 1890s.
Okay.
Marbles. This, I'm guessing, probably right around the same time.
Right.
This is all newer stuff.
I'll tell you one thing that I recently found out while I was doing Holmes' research is the day after he killed Howard Peitzel in Indianapolis, he came here.
Okay.
He mentioned in his letters that he went and visited Patrick Quinlan, who was like the Bib Fortuna to his Jabba the Hutt, who was working at the factory here at the time. So if there was ever a time he would have showed up with a marble, that would have been it. That's where I think you're most likely to find this stuff, is down around the southern edge, maybe the privy holes would have been a little further off to the side. I love it when I get to go wandering around sites like this. I feel like I'd have some Scooby snacks. A lot of times they were digging up Holmes's place, they would get all excited, they'd find a bit of bone. Like this, that they got, we found the body. But really it would turn out to be chicken bone, which is probably what this thing is. I doubt it had any ornament. It was generally described as a very plain one-story brick structure.
I mean, yeah, so these are very likely, I mean, this is, and like, where was that one section that was probably like a part of a chimney? That has to be it.
Huh. All right, now here we have found a real antique. What even was this?
What'd you find? You find a skull?
You ever find a skull?
Yeah, actually I have.
So, in the end, no, we didn't find any bodies. We did find some bricks that are likely to be remains of the old factory, and some strange industrial runoff, and at least one bone that's probably a chicken bone, and lots of bits of glass. Now, Holmes' real connection to the factory was always a bit of a question mark to start with, so what connection these may have to him, we'll never really know. But I'm glad I got the chance to help investigate it one last time, and I'm glad I was able to write it into Just Kill Me, out August 2016 from Simon & Schuster.
Okay, so Yeah, those were some really good cover blurbs. I'm still very proud of the cover blurbs I was able to get for that book. I don't know how much those things kind of help if the publisher isn't promoting. Okay, so no more book trouble for me today. So, all right, good news. I got orchestra seats for all 3 nights at Bob Dylan. So, yeah. All right, so welcome along, everybody. Thanks for joining me, I should be saying. Sorry I was this distracted. Did I get some souvenirs, Lynn asks? Yeah, I think I got a couple around here someplace. The thing is, I don't want any of Holmes' crap in my house. I mean, I've held things that he held. I've held paperwork with his signature on it, etc. But I don't want his stuff in my house. I mean, I may not think that he killed hundreds and hundreds of people, but this was not exactly a great guy with a smile for everybody or anything. Not that I don't have some morbid things in my house. I got Jim Morrison's old doorbell over in my drawers there. All kinds of weird stuff. I do like memorabilia. I'm a sucker for it. But all right, thanks a lot for joining me, everybody. I'm Adam from Mysterious Chicago Tours. We'll see you back here tonight for Gangsters of Chicago, and you're really going to be missing out on some cool stuff if you don't come out on August 27th for the Oakwood Cemetery, our first tour here. Becky, yes, they got rid of the tree with black branches with blood that kept dripping. It's long gone now. So, all right, once again, everybody, thanks a lot for joining me. I'm Adam from Mysterious Chicago Tours. I'll see you tonight for Gangsters of Chicago right back here at 8 o'clock Central. And until then, everybody, try to stay cool. It's very difficult today, but try to stay cool. And if you can't stay cool, then melt just a little bit, and then you will have no trouble staying spooky.